Are you thinking about moving to Delaware or perhaps new to Delaware and you're just not familiar with the layout? Well, in this video, I'm going to do a virtual map tour, and by the end of the video, I can promise you, you're going to be a lot more familiar with the layout of Delaware. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Brandon Windom, and I help people buy and sell homes here in Delaware. I've lived in Delaware my entire life, and on this channel, I talk about what it's like living here in Delaware. And if you're potentially thinking about buying or selling a home here in Delaware, I'd love to have a conversation, so I'll put my info on screen now and again in the description below. But that being said, let's get right into it. So just some quick facts about Delaware. Delaware, it's not very big. It's the second smallest state. It's 96 miles long from top to bottom, and it's about 35 miles wide. Our current population here in Delaware is a little over 1 million, and something to keep in mind, obviously I'm a real estate agent, I gotta talk about home prices. So the median sold price here in Delaware right now sits around $335K, so just something to keep in the back of your head. 335,000, because I'll be talking about it throughout the video through the cities. So let's just start from the top and then work our way down. We're here at the top, and of course we come to our biggest city here, and that's Wilmington. Definitely the biggest by population. The population right now is about 70,000, so definitely a lot of people there. People may mistake it for the capital, but it's not. It's definitely the heartbeat of Delaware, though. All of our, most important things are there. A lot of financial buildings, court, Chancery Court, and Port of Wilmington. So all of that is right here in Wilmington. When we're talking about Wilmington itself, you talk about, a lot of people care about school districts, so I'll just keep that as a common theme. So we'll talk about school districts and the average sale price. And a lot of people choose Wilmington just because it's very easy to commute here. I mean, as you can see, you got the Pennsylvania line right here. You got Jersey over here, and then you got Maryland over here. So we're surrounded on other sides by other cities. So the two school districts that cover Wilmington for the most part, up here you got Brandywine, so that's going to be in the northernmost part, and then right over here by Hockessin, Pike Creek and everything, that's going to be Red Clay Consolidated. I did a video on the top school districts in Delaware and how they were ranked by niche.com. Just pulling from niche.com again, both of them scored A-minuses, so pretty good school districts. The median sold home price in Wilmington is right around $279,000, but we got to keep into account that you really have the city. So in certain part of the cities you have the townhouses in the inner city that are maybe only going to run you $120,000 to $160,000, but then you have the outskirts of Wilmington, which I think a lot of people forget about because Wilmington itself kind of gets a bad rap for city and all that other stuff. But you have some of these outskirts like Hockessin where it can just get really crazy and it's really affluent out there. So I guess let's just hop right into Hockessin then. So we got Hockessin over here, and again, this was something I really didn't find out until I actually became a real estate agent, is that Delaware, if you're from Delaware, we talk about cities and towns, but they're not actually towns or cities. So they're called CDPs, census designated places, or unincorporated communities. I didn't know this until a couple years ago. So it's not actually a city, but Hockessin, it's a nice town, very affluent there. It's a lot of nice, rich, fancy stuff. It's right across the line, so I mean, if you have family in Pennsylvania, this will be a great option for you. But again, at the northernmost part of the state, the median home price in Hockessin, wait for it, is $617,000. So again, if you have some money to burn and you want to be close to Pennsylvania, then by all means go for it. That's also Red Clay Consolidated, again, like I said, that the school district, and it was an A-. So now we can kind of start heading south, and we can head right into Newcastle here. Newcastle has a population of about 5,500, so it's a pretty small city town, and it's mostly known for its historic charm. There's a lot of call it Old Newcastle, and it's a lot of historic places in Newcastle itself. It's mostly, suburban. It has some open spaces. You got Battery Park here where you can run on the water. But one of the main features that people kind of like about Newcastle, and this doesn't make any sense to me at all, but if you look right here, you have the Wilmington Airport. but as you can see, it's clearly in Newcastle. Makes no sense, but it's a newer airport they just opened up. It's been there for a while, but it wasn't commercial, like regular commercial flights out of there. But they do have them now. It's serviced by Avello, and they serve most of the East Coast. They only really go to destinations in the East Coast. There's only one terminal there. They go to, the Floridas, the Carolinas. They actually opened up a route to San Juan, Puerto Rico. So I can tell you, I've flown there. I've flown with them, and it's very convenient if you're flying on the East Coast, so you don't have to go to Philadelphia or BWI, but like I said, it's pretty limited there. But getting off topic, so the median sale price here in Newcastle is going to be $280,000, and the school district there is going to be the Colonial School District, and it's a pretty good school district as far as what niche.com has to say. They rated it a B- overall, so not bad. Again, these are all within minutes of each other. You're talking about, you just hop on 95 or 295 and you can get from Newcastle to Wilmington or any of these places in 20 minutes. We can go over here more so to the western part of the state, and we can jump right into Newark. That's another very one of our biggest cities here in Newark. Both of those are college town. That's where the University of Delaware is. They actually have the campus all there in Main Street. Very walkable, very, very like city suburban-esque. It's a very, like I said, that's a very walkable city. And it's a bigger city. So the population there is about 38,000. Again, mostly known for, UD. Newark actually, again, this is another one of those weird things where you see Christiana right here, and basically Newark and Christiana are the same thing. Christiana, again, is another, it's not a town, but it's another one of those unincorporated communities per se. But like I said, you got Newark right here. I wonder if I can get closer here. Yeah, so there we go. So you got the University of Delaware all right there, and then you have Main Street that's all right up in here, the Bob Carpenter Center. But you come right here into Christiana, and this is, you got the Christiana Hospital right here. You have, I wonder if I can get here. So you got the Christiana Mall. A lot of people come to the mall. It's our biggest mall in Delaware, or a shopping attraction in Delaware next to the Tanger outlets. But it's great because it's all tax-free shopping, so you'll have a lot of people come out of town to come into Christiana. But it's a lot of shops, a lot of things to do, just all in that area in Newark. So Newark is going to be the Christiana School District. It was rated by Niche with a C+ overall. So again, and then the median home sale price in Newark is $345,000. So it's a little bit more than our median average for the entire state, but you can see why there's a lot to do there. It's pretty desirable, and like I said, it's mostly suburban. If we're heading down, further south, another big city or town that we have here, well, again, it's not a town, it's a community, is Bear. Population in Bear is about 23,000, so it's another big population. That is mostly suburban. Whatever you would get from that small, I wouldn't say small town, it's more of a suburban, it's not a city definitely, but more so a suburban feel. The median sale price there is going to be $390,000. It's mostly suburban, but there's a bit more land there than you find in Newark. So the lots tend to be a little bit bigger. The houses tend to be a little bit bigger. So that's why we usually see that higher median sold price there. And then because of its location, it's right here. You can hop on the one and pretty much get to anywhere in the state. To talk a little bit about that, I mean, you see one runs basically from the top of the state to the bottom of the state, and 95, obviously if you keep taking it, you're gonna run into Maryland or Pennsylvania or New Jersey. You have this is actually closer to Newcastle here. This is actually a Delaware Memorial Bridge, and that'll put you into Jersey, but it's not far at all. But yeah, it's got a nice location that is close to the major highways, so it kind of gets you wherever you need to go. From there, we're gonna hop into Middletown, and if you've done any research at all about Delaware, you've heard about Middletown. It's probably the fastest growing city in Delaware. Middletown has a population of about 24,000. Like I said, it's growing rapidly. They're always building here. There's always something going on here. You got Birdie's Links and Drinks that just opened up. I mean, I think they're opening up a bunch of new shops. They're just always developing there. And I mean, it's turned into like a little mini metropolis, but it is kind of more rural than, you know, Newark or Wilmington, just because it used to be a farm town and there's just a lot of land and they haven't developed it as much yet, but that's definitely going to change. But like I said, the population of Middletown, 24,000, and this is going to be, as you can see here, this is kind of like, it's like a little triangle. We call it Middletown, Odessa, Townsend. That's the MOT area. But that school district is the Appoquinimink, and that was actually ranked #1 by Niche in all of Delaware with an A+. And because of, you know, how popular this Middletown is, the average median sold price is right around $480,000. So quite higher than our median of all of Delaware. And you can just keep going on south here from Middletown, and then we'll run right into Smyrna. And this is actually, Smyrna is one of those towns where it's in both counties. There's only 3 counties in all of Delaware. So at the very top where we just were, this is Newcastle County. And then right now we're stepping into the middle of the state, which is gonna be Kent County. And then later in the video, we'll go down to the southernmost part, which would be Sussex County. So Smyrna is actually one of those weird towns. It's actually in between both. Some of it is in Newcastle County and some of it is actually in Kent County. But just some general stats about Smyrna. It's about, it has a population of about 13,000. It's a smaller town. Again, they're expanding as well because they're just getting a lot of runoff from Middletown. A lot of people who maybe can't afford Middletown or are looking for something that maybe has a more space, bigger lots or anything like that, they're just coming a little bit further south to Smyrna, because you're talking about the difference, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, maybe not even that, depending on, you know, how fast you drive. But yeah, so we're right here in Smyrna, 13,000. Like I said, it's more rural, suburban, but again, they're building a lot there. So if you're looking for, there's a lot of new construction here. The school district there is going to be Smyrna School District. That was rated pretty high by Niche with a B+. So very good school system here. The median sale price is right around $361,000. So again, it's a little bit higher than our median. And honestly, I'm probably going to see that creep up even more because they're building so much there. It's coming really desirable because it's not too far, especially if maybe if you work in Wilmington or if you're still commuting to a different state. So a lot of people are choosing Smyrna as well. So we're just going to keep moving south, and then we're actually going to come to the capital here. So now we're in Kent County. We're going to come to the capital here, and that's Dover. Dover, Delaware is the capital. It's got a population of about 38,000. So again, another one of our very big cities, one of our bigger cities. I'm not gonna say very big, but for Delaware, it's pretty big. So it's about 38,000 population. And the school districts here in Dover are gonna be Capital for the most part. So Capital was rated B+ by Niche. So again, pretty good score. And actually certain parts of Dover will actually be Caesar Rodney School District, and that was rated A-, and that was rated pretty high overall for, I think it was like number 4 or 5 overall in the state of Delaware. Good school systems again, and obviously a lot of reason why people come to Dover, as you can see right here, is the Dover Air Force Base. So if you're military and you got orders, this is where Dover Air Force Base is in regards to, you know, the entire state. So it's kind of like in the middle. But again, Dover does have, you know, a nice, it does have like a little city to it, but mostly, like I said, as you get further down into Kent County, it's all going to be mostly rural, suburban, just because there's a lot more land down here. But Dover is probably going to be the closest that we're going to get to a city, like an actual city here, but it's a far cry from, you know, Wilmington or anything. The median sold price there is, the median sold price in Dover is about $275,000 as well. And then you see it kind of splits off where you can kind of either take 13. If you're taking 13, you know, you're going definitely to, you know, more rural parts of Delaware. This is, you know, kind of what they're talking about when they talk about slower, lower. Kind of like what we call slower, lower. It's a slower pace where you're going to see, you know, the farms and those chickens that outnumber Delawareans 200 to 1 all in more so in that area as you take 13 farther down. But we're not going to go that far yet. We're going to talk about right here in Camden and Magnolia. I'm just going to group them together. They're right here. They may look a little far on the map, but literally you'll blink and you'll be in Camden and you'll be in Magnolia. You'll be driving through Camden and end up in Magnolia. They're like 5 minutes apart. So them combined, like I said, they're like really small towns. There's only going to be about a population of about 5,000 between the both of them combined. Again, it's really suburban, rural, but a lot more shops. It's a lot more restaurants and shops in that area. So I guess it would be more suburban than rural. This is all, Camden and Magnolia are going to be the CR school district. Like I said before, they're, it was rated an A- by niche. So very good school system, very desirable school system. And because of that, you tend to see a higher median sold price. So the median sold price is around $375,000 for, Camden and Magnolia. So I guess from there, we can kind of head on this rural side for the most part. And we can just go right into, we're just gonna keep going south right here in Felton and Harrington. And again, it's a really small population, probably right around 5,000 as far as population goes. These are small towns, and these towns specifically are going to be very more so rural than suburban. There's a lot of open like farmland and just land there. So if you are someone who wants to, be away from people or maybe get some acreage or anything like that, Felton and Harrington are definitely going to be, a good look for you. There's a lot of building there. I'm seeing a lot more building in Felton, not so much Harrington, but there's a lot of opportunities there if you do want to grab some land and, be just secluded by yourself or just be around there. Felton and Harrington fall into the Lake Forest School District. It was rated by niche with an overall B-. So the median sale price there is going to be around $325. So it's going to be less than our average median, which is $335, as I said in the beginning of the video. So if you're looking for land and everything, it's definitely a good place. So if we hop back over to the actual coastline side, so more here over to the east by like the Delaware Bay and everything, this is going to be, if you're taking Route 1 and you got, a lot of little beaches here, you got Pickering Beach, Kitts Hummock, you got Bowers Beach, Big Stone Beach. So a lot of opportunities there if you wanted to live by water. Nice little towns. So let's hop back over here to the Route 1 side. So if we're coming this way, obviously it's gonna be closer to the water. So you're gonna have like these little beaches here, Bowers Beach, Kitts Hummock, Big Stone Beach. But we're just gonna keep going down into Milford. Milford is another big city. The population is about 12,000. So bigger than, some of the other places we were talking about in Kent County. Again, Milford is another one of those cities that are in between both. So parts of Milford are in Kent County and then the other parts are in Sussex County. And again, Milford, I think, is scheduled to be like another Middletown. They're developing a lot there. There's a lot of land. They see if I can zoom in here. They just put in this huge Sussex campus, Bay Health Hospital, Sussex campus, another big major hospital, and they have a Nemours onto it, but it's a big, beautiful campus. And they're just building all throughout Milford. I think it's set to, be one of those towns when we're talking about another 10 years and we're like, oh yeah, remember when Milford, there wasn't anything in Milford? So definitely a good opportunity there in Milford, because since they are developing, there's a lot more land there. So you may be able to get you a nice little piece of land and get in before, it's too late. We're talking about, exorbitant prices. So right now the median sold price in Milford is about $325,000. So it's still under the median of Delaware, the $335 median of Delaware. The school system in Milford is the Milford School District, makes a lot of sense. And that was rated overall B- for niche.com, so not a bad score at all. So when we're coming down here, when we're moving down to the southernmost part of the state, this is going to be right under Milford here. You're talking about, this is all Sussex County. And like I said, it's pretty, this is all Sussex County. This is kind of like when people say like slower, lower, at least what I think when they talk about like slower lower, when you're talking about like all the chicken farms and chicken plants and farming and agricultural, because chicken is our biggest export here. But this is kind of like that area over here to the west where you're gonna see most of it. You got a bunch of, you know, little towns and cities here. The big one that's right here is probably be Seaford. Seaford is has a population of about 8,000, so a pretty decent amount as far as like when you're talking about in Delaware terms. So it's a pretty big city. It's super rural there. Like I said, if you're looking for land or you want to, you know, just not be around people, or you just want that, you know, that relaxation and very slow pace and not to be bothered, you just want to, you know, go to the store and come home and just enjoy your home. Seaford could definitely be, you know, a town for you. You know, in Seaford, it's a Seaford school district that was rated a C- overall with niche.com. And because it being so rural right now, and you know, I am seeing a lot of you know, opportunities for new construction and building there, but it's still not one of the most desirable places as far as, you know, Delaware goes. If you're talking about south, I mean, it's very close here to you know, Maryland. You can just head over right here into Maryland, you know, both ways. If you want to go to Salisbury, you know, just keep heading south. But the median sold price there is $269,000, so, you know, well under that median of Delaware. So then we're gonna hop right into the beaches. So you just go right down here into Lewis. I'm just gonna put them all together. I'm not gonna break down every single beach town, but the first one that you run into is gonna be Lewis Beach. It's gonna be, well, the town of Lewis. That has Lewis Beach. Let's zoom in a little bit closer here. You have the Cape Henlopen State Park. It's a great state park. You got it has a beachfront. No boardwalk, obviously, but really nice park. You're talking about Lewis. It's actually the oldest city in Delaware, from my understanding. Population is about 3,500, and a lot of people are full-time residents, not the transient that you'll see when you get further down into some of the other beaches like Rehoboth or Bethany or Dewey. That whole Lewis, Rehoboth, Dewey, they're all the Cape Henlopen School District. Scored an A- with niche.com. And the average sale price is pretty high there, obviously, because we're right on the water, but you're talking about $575,000. So way above that median, but you get what you pay for. You're gonna be right there on the water, and you're gonna be in a beach town. We're gonna head further south here. You got Rehoboth Beach right over here. And so we got the Tanger outlet. So again, if you like to shop, tax-free shopping is all right there. And then it just runs you right into Rehoboth. Let me zoom out a little bit. And like I say, you're just gonna keep going south, and then you're gonna run into Dewey Beach, and that's mostly known for, you know, the party and everything like that. You're gonna move further south, and let me just zoom out here, and this is where you're gonna see, you know, Ocean View, Bethany Beach, Fenwick Island, and then you're just gonna keep going south, and here's the Delaware, Maryland line. You could keep going south if you wanted to, right into Ocean City. It's not very far from there, maybe like another 30-45 minutes. But yeah, overall, that's pretty much all of Delaware there, as you can see there from top to bottom. So basically, that's the layout of Delaware in a nutshell. Hopefully you got some value from this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, I made another video discussing Delaware right here.